Welcome to Message Inspired. As you can see, this first message is on love. As you do know, the perfect expression of love was God, Jesus, dying on the cross for us. In my life, just knowing that someone actually loved me that much is what changed me. From who I used to be as a child, growing up thinking maybe I'm God, or growing up thinking maybe nobody loves me. But I was wrong. There was somebody who loved me more than anything. And when I really understand how much God loved me, when I begin to really understand how His love works and what His love does, that's when I begin to change. And that change is still happening to this very day. That's why my first topic is on love. People are seeking love in the most wrong places. Love does not grow where cell phones are. Love does not grow on Facebook. Love does not grow on YouTube. Definitely love does not grow on money. Love doesn't grow with drugs, alcohol, or abuse, or addictions, or anything like that. Those are places where sometimes our flesh and our self thinks where love is. But it's not true. That's not where love grows. That's not where love comes from. Love doesn't come from ourselves. And that's what I'm about to talk about today. I'm about to show you, in my perspective, and what I know, what love is and where it comes from. So John 15 verse 4. See love as a fruit. Abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear much love of itself, except if you abide in the vine. No more can you except you abide in me. So what this is saying here is we cannot bear much love by ourselves, at least not the true love, except if we abide in Jesus, where the true love is. Then we can bring forth love from there. No more can you except you abide in me. So Jesus is saying you cannot bear much love unless you abide in my love. So by seeing and understanding that, it shows that God's love is what makes who He is, who makes us understand who He is. Because His love is what changed the world. His love is what covered our sin. Proverbs 10:12. Hatred stirs strife. And that's true. Personally in my life, I have hated people in my life. And it stirred up big major strifes in my life. There's walls up there. You can't talk to this person. But you know what? But love covers sins. And as soon as I begin to understand God's love, I begin to love these people. I begin to love my enemies, and God changes that through love. Changes that strife. I begin to, go for coffee with my enemies, or I begin to really understand what my enemies are going through, and I begin to become friends. Because God wants us to be brothers and sisters. Not enemies and enemies. That's what He wants us to be. He wants us to be like Him, to show love to one another. In Philippians 2:2 it says, fulfill ye my joy, that you be like-minded, having the same love, which is God's love, being of one accord, of one mind. God wants us to show His love to the world. So by understanding this message today, in my hopes and what I really want is just to show you that love comes from God. He is the vine, we are the branches. And His love is true. And I encourage you today, through this message, that you'd show somebody love, God's love. Thank you for listening to the Message Inspired on the topic love.